Our big focus this evening is coming from Karnataka, a state that is currently hosting Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He's held a massive roadshow in Hubballi before inaugurating the National Youth Festival. Now, just take a look at all these pictures on your screens. I'm going to ask my producer to put them on. The city is all decked up. There you have it. The roads were spick and span. No potholes, no deadly bumps, and no collapsing metro pillars. I guess that treatment is only reserved for the tax-paying common citizen. On the same day as Prime Minister Modi's visit, Karnataka's killer infrastructure has caused 2 casualties. I'll start with the one in Kolar. A 22-year-old woman, she was returning home from college. She was riding her scooter through a road she probably takes every single day. But today, she lost her balance while trying to avoid a pothole on that very road. The next moment, she was crushed to death by an incoming lorry. Like I said yesterday, this isn't bad luck or bad driving. This is plain and simple murder. The 22-year-old should have reached home safely today. The only reason she didn't is because of Karnataka's deadly roads and callous politicians who simply don't care, because human life is cheap in a country of 1 billion plus, I guess. Another incident was reported in Bangalore, India's IT city, Karnataka's capital. This is where a biker was badly injured after a sinkhole appeared in the Ashoknagar area. That's it. The road simply collapsed with commuters on it. And guess who the Bangalore cops are blaming? The Metro Corporation, the same Metro Corporation whose deadly pillar killed a young mother and her infant son this week. It's been 2 days since that heartbreaking tragedy, but 0 lessons have been learned. It was a collapsing pillar on Tuesday and a collapsing road today. In this case, the biker was lucky to escape, but the next commuter may not be so lucky. But the Karnataka government says, don't worry, because they have launched yet another probe into why this accident happened. It's the story of killer civic apathy in Karnataka. An innocent life is lost, a probe is ordered, and no one gets punished. The Metro Corporation's engineers have filled this sinkhole with concrete. We asked them whether a repeat of this incident can be avoided in the future. Listen to what he says.
You just said, sir, that you are sure that it will not happen again. So is that you taking responsibility?
No, if any such loose pockets, which we also don't know, if it gets opened up.
How can you say that you are taking
guarantee?
guarantee?
So
Lives of Bengalurians don't have any guarantee.
There is no way, sir, to identify these loose
have
pockets.
No guarantee
With all the available technology today, there is absolutely no way to identify these loose pockets. Is that right?
So I don't know what to tell to this, but so if anything because of any other utilities, if some loose pocket is there, that at surface will not come to know.
Neha Ballal is joining us from Bangalore. Neha, what exactly is the executive director of the Bangalore Metro trying to tell us here? Is he trying to tell us that he doesn't know why there's a sinkhole in the middle of a Bangalore road, or why the metro pillar collapsed? I mean, what sort of response was this?
Well, Shreya, you know, it's really most shocking. Each time we try to get the authorities to take some responsibility or some accountability, the kind of answers that come through, you know, it really makes one question how serious they are about actually fixing the issues, in fact, that the citizens are facing. I want to talk you through this entire incident that happened today. Let me just show you the road, you know, even before we begin or before we get to the sinkhole, I'd like to ask my video journalist Sandeep to actually show you the road. You can see that this is a relatively new road. It's not been laid very, very long back. And of course, understandably so, this road has been maintained well merely because of the kind of traffic that commutes on this road, and it's extremely heavy. Just to give you an idea right now, it's about 6:15 when the peak hour is just kicking in, and I'd like to show you how many vehicles are already piling up, right? With this much traffic on this road, a massive sinkhole like this that emerged today, spreading across almost about 8 feet at least, could have proved to be fatal. It could have claimed a life. But it was, in fact, the presence of mind of the Bengaluru traffic police that immediately saw this happening. They saw the biker falling and they've cordoned off the traffic on this entire stretch of road. And so much so that minutes after this happened, they even diverted the traffic into two, ensuring that people do not, skid over the sinkhole or even worse, fall into it. I want to quickly take this back to a couple of hours when we were reporting from here when the sinkhole was present. We were the first ones on the spot. From the time we reached till the time we left, Shreya, the sinkhole itself had expanded by a few feet. It had grown, and we spoke to that injured biker over there who was in shock, to say the least. He was commuting on the stretch of road just like everybody else on this side where the traffic is now piling up. And most unfortunate that the road below him just caved in. It wasn't a pothole he was trying to dodge. There were no warning signs for him to have even taken responsibility for rash driving like the authorities would like to claim. We asked all of these questions to the authorities and said that what exactly is it that you're going to do? In fact, a little later, Shreya, I've spoken with the executive director exclusively and asked him again, and he says that yes, we will take responsibility, but is there any way to guarantee this will happen again? Absolutely not. So much so that now they're, going on to see if there was any other agency which is at fault. And this is what it boils down to every single time, that there's a blame game that's played. There's shifting of blame that happens. People are losing lives. Families are grieving. And despite that, it's civic apathy at its absolute worst. Now, to further the problems of the people of this area and who commute here, this cement that you're seeing here is just a mere quick fix. This isn't really going to solve the problem at large. And this is something that even they've admitted to, that this is a temporary solution. So this brings us back to a newly laid road, the middle of which there's a massive sinkhole, a temporary solution that's now been sought for this. And at the end of the day, this is the central business district of Bangalore. This is one of the busiest areas, an area that sees, MG Road, Brigade Road, Church Street in just a kilometer's vicinity. And when we're expecting basic infrastructure to be fixed, at least in urban parts of the city like this where taxes are at its highest, you have commercial buildings here. This is a massive office, in fact, that's been present here for years together. The people of this very building alone pay taxes to the tune of a few crores. And when we're talking about infrastructure today, basic infrastructure like roads not being okay, this is a problem and this is something that needs to be fixed. People are losing lives owing to potholes, owing to crumbling pillars, owing to, broken footpaths, and there really seems to be no end to this.
I mean, is this why we pay taxes? And with what you have just shown us, can I just say, God save Bangalore? We'll leave it there for the moment. Neha Hebale, thank you very much for joining us with that ground report. Dr. Lakshmi Ashwin Gowda, spokesperson of the BJP, welcome back to the show. Ma'am, I was hoping that we wouldn't be having this conversation at least for 1 week because what happened with the young lady, the young mother and the child was so heartbreaking. One would have thought that we wouldn't be having similar conversations with you or with anyone at least for a week. But alas, Karnataka manages to surprise us every day. Lavanya Ballal, spokesperson of the Congress party, joining us, and Srinivas Alaveli is a citizen activist. He's joining us on the broadcast as well. Dr. Lakshmi, the Prime Minister is in the state of Karnataka today. In Hubballi, we saw a gleaming pothole-free road. Why can you not ensure decent civic infrastructure for your tax-paying citizens as well, ma'am? Look at what has happened in Kolar. 22-year-old returning from college, tries to avoid a pothole, falls down and is crushed by a lorry again. Barely 48 hours after that young mother and child were crushed to death in Bangalore when a metro pillar collapses.
I would like to clarify one thing to you, Shreya. You want to see each and every distinct and different incident and incidents with the same myopic prism of suspicion that our ruling BJP government has formed this. Sinkholes are formed. They're the geographical phenomenon. They're basically formed abruptly or insidiously. They are not formed by the BJP government. They are formed by the caste process. It's a chemical phenomenon. It's a geographical phenomenon. They are not just existent only in that road. They're also seen in front of the Vidhan Saudha a few days ago. and they're also ubiquitous. They're seen everywhere. Sinkholes are seen everywhere, and they should be immediately patched it up. It's not that BJP government has caught the sinkhole and that accident has happened. It's very unfortunate that we have lost one life. It's very unfortunate we have lost one life.
Dr. Lakshmi,
but
of course
our
not.
double-engine BJP government has been proactive, pro-citizen friendly. You have not seen the big picture. We have delivered very positives to the people of this very state and people of this very country. We have delivered biggest food security program. We have given food security to 80 crores people. You're not talking about that.
Ma'am.
We have given biggest health security program.
Dr.
We
Lakshmi.
have given utmost internal security. We have kept our
Dr. Lakshmi,
borders
which is
very
why...
safer.
Let's not talk about our borders. I don't want to get into a discussion about our borders, because it will be a long conversation, and we are talking about something that impacts the citizens of this country. So you are telling me, take a look at the big picture. We have given food security to so many people, crores in this country. Yes, you have. But you're not doing them a favor. You're doing your job there. If you're saying that our borders are secure, I beg to disagree. But again, if you're saying borders are secure, it's the government's job to do it. Ma'am, what I'm saying is, if you ask me to look at the big picture, Dr. Lakshmi, if you ask me to... Dr. Lakshmi, don't ask a person who has lost a wife and a 2-year-old child to look at the large picture or the big picture. This is the big picture. Civic infrastructure is the big picture.
Very unfortunate
a young lady, for a young lady, 22-year-old. Ma'am, how many unfortunate incidents do we see in Karnataka? A young lady today in Kolar is going to her college in her scooty on a road she has traveled many, many times before. There's a pothole there. She negotiates it. She falls down and is crushed by a lorry.
Maximum commuters are there. These things are tend to happen, but we are really there to fix them up very soon. We are there to help. We are there to fix them up.
Ma'am, you're not making this better for yourself or your party. Lavanya Ballal, ma'am, you're not making this any better for yourself when you say that in roads where there is so much traffic, this is bound to happen. Lavanya Ballal, would you want to come in here?
Yeah, Shreya. I mean, I think it's hardly been a day that we were speaking about killer potholes of Bangalore. And yesterday I was reading the news about how Chandigarh, I think, court just used the term Bangalore as a metaphor, pulling up Chandigarh, corporation saying, don't be a Bangalore, That's very sad. We don't want our city to become a metaphor. Unfortunately, this has happened. And Shreya, see, the BMRCL bridge, the pillar that collapsed. And today, this is, I think, the first pothole death in Karnataka for this year. And just to brush it off, saying, yes, the sinkholes happen, potholes, yeah, we have given something else. It's very insensitive, I have to say. If you look at December reports itself, C.V. Raman Nagar, people were peeling off the tar laid on the road by their hands. They could literally peel it off. That's how great the road that was laid was. There are videos of it. If you go and look back at it, there are videos of that where people are peeling off the road by their hands, And also, there was one bridge in Bengaluru in the month of December which developed cracks within a month of building. And then there is this road which was inaugurated by our CM, which developed cracks on top within 29 days of inauguration. All said and done, I think Bengaluru needs a proper urban planning. It needs a dedicated minister. It cannot have a CM who has multiple other portfolios with him looking at Bengaluru also. This is why citizens have been asking that they need a governing body in BBMP, which has been missing for the 2 years. Srinivasji, I think, would have...
Dr. Lakshmi, the
number of
I'm going to him, but Dr. Lakshmi, this is an election year. Dr. Lakshmi, give me a minute, Srinivas. Dr. Lakshmi, this is an election year for the BJP and the Congress as well and the JDS as well. I don't think you can get away by telling people, look at the bigger picture. Infrastructure doesn't matter. Look at the bigger picture. According to your own state president, the bigger picture is love jihad. What do we expect? What is the bigger picture here?
Ma'am, in what context he has told, that in addition to the burning issues we are facing, our country is losing the very basic tenet of its existence. That is our religion. Okay? And he said that it is also essential and imperative
religion
to
doesn't
save our
matter to
religion.
people who are losing their children
He didn't say that,
to pillar collapses and
neglecting
potholes.
all our basic amenities, we only concentrate
You
on
feel
love
God
jihad.
has abandoned
We
you
have
on the
given enough
streets
food
of
security.
Bengaluru.
We have given enough health security. We have given enough internal security. We have kept our external borders safer. Now we are trying to protect our very own existence. That we are having the threat by the evil forces, by the extremist forces, by the divisive forces within the country. And he has only talked in that context.
Who are the evil forces?
Yes,
Here to me, evil forces are the ones who are responsible for potholes and bridge collapses. Pakistan and China are not evil forces, ma'am. Evil forces are the ones within this country who are corrupt and because of whom our infrastructure is so weak that you have pillars collapsing on people. That you have people, young and old, dying because of potholes. Those are the evil forces in this country.
But our infrastructure development from the past 3 to 4 years has been tremendous. And road traffic accidents have been significantly reduced from the past 3-4 years. It's not that we have not done anything.
Let's get the statistics. Okay, great. Okay. Let Srinivasan, agree or disagree with you. Srinivasan, would you want to come in here? You've heard what Dr. Lakshmi is saying. A, look at the big picture. B, in the last 3-4 years, we have actually done a lot and road accidents have come down in the state of Karnataka. So 1 or 2, 3 things happen. Koi baat nahi hota hai in such busy roads, etc. And sinkholes are not a sazish of the BJP, she says. They're natural phenomena. Don't blame us for it.
I think there's one thing I can agree with, which is that no political party will want people to die on account of work. That much we should grant to all political parties. But their actions are leading to this. And why are their actions leading to this? Because they're not seriously committed to governance. They're always worried about, either retaining power or getting back into power. These are the only 2 things that seem to matter. They forget the fundamentals of democracy and politics, that you are in politics or you have formed a party so that you have an ability to govern. And the moment elections are over, the race for the next election seems to begin. So all of us are frustrated with this. Here, Shreya, as you pointed out repeatedly in Kolar, in Bengaluru, and the other thing, and your reporter Neha has pointed out also that somebody is blaming somebody else, and who knows what might happen. They can't give the guarantee that such things don't happen, and we are okay with that. As a society, we seem to be okay with that. So we need to understand that these sinkholes and broken pillars, all of these are merely symptoms of a much more serious problem, which is the fundamental foundation of city governance. We just don't have it. You brought up borders, you brought up law and order, and Dr. Gowda has brought up some other issues. And for all those things, clearly who is responsible. If the borders are not safe, it's the Prime Minister and central government. If the law and order is broken, it's the Chief Minister and the state government. When it comes to city, you actually don't know. The metro is a joint project between center and the state. The roads of Bengaluru are not all run by the municipal corporation. The water is supplied by another board. The sewage is managed by another board. So there is a lot of different agencies created without any clear accountability. On top of it all, to rub salt on our wounds, there have been no elections conducted to the city of Bengaluru in more than 2.5 years now. So the greatest city of the world, the biggest city of India, with so much of GST payments going into the government of India and government of Karnataka, we don't have municipal councillors, elected leaders. So who is going to hold the engineers accountable? The job of an elected person in our politics, in our government, is to hold the officials accountable. That person herself doesn't exist. So who is going to hold them accountable? Will the Chief Minister look at Kolar municipal engineer or the Bengaluru municipal engineer? It's impossible. We are a state with 6 crore population and so many towns and cities. So unless and until you have a decentralized, empowered city government, these things keep happening and we will move on because there is nobody accountable. After some time, a probe report will come which will claim whatever it claims. Compensation will be given and political parties will say what they say. So I would argue that the bigger issue is beyond the political parties. It is really about how the urban governance in this country is now. At some point, urban governance was not important, but we've crossed that bridge 20 years ago. Whether it is Mumbai or Delhi or Bengaluru or Chennai, some senior citizens were sleeping on the street in Chennai 2 days back to protest the potholes and bad civic conditions. How did we get here? We really need to look at the much deeper issues. While the short-term solution is important, while we need to address the immediate concerns, I was arguing, I think on your show or some other show the other day, that when the pillar thing happened, you need to immediately pause the construction activity and conduct a safety audit before you go on. Within few hours, construction activity resumed. Everything is happening as usual. People are driving around the same pillars where this thing happened. Who is to say what? So shouldn't we be more conservative in such things? Somebody should say, okay, it's okay if metro is anyway delayed by 15 years, as far as I'm concerned. If you delay it by 3 more days, conduct safety audit. Same with the sinkhole today. Stop, reroute the people. Let people have inconvenience. Inconvenience is better than death and injury. So, but nobody is there to even make that decision. It's as if the construction is so important that we keep on going.
I'll just end by saying this. Thank you everyone for joining us, Dr. Lakshmi, Lavanya and Srinivas. But this is what I'll say. While we like to blame our politicians for everything, and Dr. Lakshmi to some extent was right, we do like to blame our politicians for everything. What are we doing as citizens? Are we demanding better from our politicians? Next time someone comes for a vote, tell him that this is what you want and that you deserve better if you're paying taxes and tolls. You don't want to be, or anyone from your family, to be walking on a road or driving down a road and not come back home at all. So we need to start asking our politicians for better stuff. We need to tell them that we deserve better as well. Your vote is your bargaining power. Use it well. We'll leave it there for the moment, Dr. Lakshmi. Thank you very much. Lavanya, good to have you on the show. And Srinivas, thank you very much for your show, for being on the show as well.